You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 26th of September. Amit Shah hails historic post Article 370 polls in Kashmir. Activists in Geneva flag Pakistan's rights violations in Sindh. And Taliban denies women's rights violations amidst international concerns. And now for all the details. Ahead of the final phase of elections in India's Jammu and Kashmir, the region on Thursday witnessed multiple rallies by political parties to woo the voters. Addressing a poll campaign in Jammu region, Home Minister Amit Shah said it is the first time since the independence that the election was being held in the region without Article 370 or a separate flag. He added that the vote will not only decide the fate of any individual, but the whole region of Jammu and Kashmir. Slamming the National Conference and the Congress alliance, he said, while they claim they will bring back Article 370, neither them nor their three generations will be able to bring back the Article 370.
आजादी के बाद पहली बार जम्मू कश्मीर में एक ऐसा चुनाव होने जा रहा है जिस चुनाव में ना धारा 370 है ना अलग झंडा है। पहली बार हमारे अध्यक्ष श्यामा प्रसाद जी ने कहा था कि एक देश में दो विधान, दो निशान, दो प्रधान नहीं चलेंगे, और श्यामा प्रसाद जी ने इसके लिए अपनी जान दे दी थी। और आज मैं कह कर जाता हूं, अब मोदी जी ने 5 अगस्त 2019 को दो विधान, दो प्रधान, दो निशान समाप्त कर दिए हैं।
Meanwhile, leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi also campaigned in Haryana's Karnal, where he slammed the ruling BJP government over unemployment. He alleged the centre and the state government have destroyed the employment system, forcing youths to seek jobs abroad. He added those who have gone abroad cannot even return for years, but the government won't do anything. He also reiterated the call to conduct a caste census across the country, claiming that most of the institutions have been given to RSS cadres and that no marginalized section is present wherever RSS is present. While the final phase of election in Jammu and Kashmir is scheduled for 1st of October, Haryana will go to polls on 5th of October. The votes will be counted on 8th of October for both the states, with results expected the same day. India's Foreign Minister S.Jaishankar highlighted the urgency for UN reforms as he addressed the G20 Foreign Ministers meeting on Wednesday on the sidelines of the UNGA summit. Calling UN a prisoner of the past, Jaishankar said, while the world has evolved into a smart, interconnected and multipolar arena, and its members have increased fourfold since UN's inception, the UNSC struggles to fulfill its mandate of maintaining international peace and security, undermining its effectiveness and credibility. He added, without reforms, including expansion in UNSC, its lack of effectiveness will only continue. Jaishankar said the Global South cannot continue to be shortchanged as he demanded proper representation in the permanent category by Asia, Africa and Latin American countries for legitimizing their voices.
The world has evolved into a smart, interconnected and multipolar arena, and its members have increased fourfold since UN's inception. Yet the UN remains a prisoner of the past. As a result, the UN Security Council struggles to fulfill its mandate of maintaining international peace and stability, undermining its effectiveness and credibility. Expansion and proper representation in the permanent category is a particular imperative. Asia, Africa, and Latin America the Global South, cannot continue to be shortchanged. They must be given their legitimate voice. Real change needs to happen and happen fast.
Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Wednesday met Bangladesh's Chief Advisor Muhammed Yunus on the sidelines of the 79th session of the UN General Assembly, with both sides agreeing to forge stronger ties. In a statement, Sharif's office said that he emphasized that both sides need to work together to further strengthen relations. Capitalizing on the immense goodwill and warmth among the people of the two countries, he encouraged fostering relations through parliamentary exchanges, people-to-people contacts. According to Bangladesh media outlet, Yunus during the meeting also sought support from Sharif for the revival of SAARC as a top platform for regional cooperation in South Asia, which has been inactive for last few years due to frozen ties between India and Pakistan. The meeting was first such meet between the top leaders of Bangladesh and Pakistan. While both countries are members of SAARC, the bilateral relations have remained lukewarm, largely due to unresolved historical grievances dating back to the 1971 Liberation War. Moving on, scores of civil society activists took part in a rare protest in Pakistan's Sindh this week against the killing of a doctor over blasphemy accusations. A report.
Hundreds of civil society activists and residents of Pakistan's Sindh province on Wednesday staged a protest against the killing of a doctor, allegedly by police, after he was accused of blasphemy, demanding a transparent inquiry into the incident. Dr. Shahnawaz, accused of sharing blasphemous content online, was killed in a purported shootout by police in Umarkot. His family disputes the police account, claiming that he was murdered in custody. It is the second such incident after another blasphemy suspect was shot dead by a police officer this month in Balochistan province. The incident has sparked widespread condemnation from rights groups and activists, especially after the doctor's body was handed over to a mob, which burnt it instead of a burial. Blasphemy accusations, sometimes even just rumors, can spark riots and mob rampages in Pakistan. Although killings of blasphemy suspects by mobs are common, extrajudicial killings by police are rare.
Meanwhile, activists staged a protest in Geneva to flag rights violations in Sindh by the Pakistani state and urge intervention by the UN and the international community. Take a look.
Activists from the World Sindhi Congress held a protest outside the UN office in Geneva on Wednesday to highlight human rights violations in Sindh by Pakistan and urge global intervention. The main concerns included enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings of Sindhi political activists, ethnic cleansing of Sindhi Hindus, and the colonial-style land grabs by the Pakistan Army. The protesters also voiced concern over killing of blasphemy suspect Dr. Shahnawaz and accountability over abduction of Hindu minor girl Priya Kumari.
We are holding this protest today on behalf of World Sindhi Congress to tell the UN and to tell the international community and about the crimes against humanity, the human rights crimes that Pakistan is committing in Sindh as well as our fellow brother nations in Balochistan, Baloch nation, again Pashtun nation. They are literally taking everything that we have. They are destroying our motherland, they are destroying our people, they are destroying our culture, they are destroying our harmony, and we need the UN and the international community to intervene.
The activists reiterated that Sindhi, Baloch, Pashtun and Kashmiri people are systematically oppressed by Pakistan, citing numerous instances of heinous crimes.
Days after the United Nations held an event on the sidelines of the UNGA to encourage the inclusion of women in the future of Afghanistan, the de facto rulers, Taliban, have denied any rights violations against women in the country. Earlier this week, UN Chief Antonio Guterres and actor Meryl Streep expressed concern over the situation of women in Afghanistan. Reacting to these remarks, Taliban's deputy spokesperson Hamidullah Fitrat denied the allegations and said rights of all individuals, including women and girls, are now protected in the country. Talking to Tolo News, Fitrat referred to the morality code imposed by Taliban and said it was to ensure the Islamic rights of women. The Taliban seized power in August 2021 when US-led forces withdrew after 20 years of war. The UN has sought a unified global approach to dealing with the Taliban, who have cracked down on women's rights. However, the de facto rulers have repeatedly said they respect rights in line with their interpretation of Islamic law. Sri Lanka's newly elected President Anura Dissanayake announced in a televised address on Wednesday plans to immediately begin talks with the IMF to advance the country's $2.9 billion bailout program. Marxist-leaning Dissanayake won the presidency past weekend after Sri Lankans backed his promises to cut taxes, fight corruption and reduce the cost of living. He seeks to renegotiate the IMF's revenue targets, aiming to lower high income taxes and redirect funds toward welfare programs for those hardest hit by the ongoing financial crisis.
අප අපේක්ෂා කරන වෙනස සඳහා සැලකියුතු කාලයක් තුළ පියවර රැසක් ගැනීමට තිබෙනවා. එහෙත් ඒ සියල්ල රැඳී පවතින්නේ වර්තමාන ආර්ථිකය තුළ ස්ථාවරත්වය හා විශ්වාසය ගොඩනැන්වීමෙන් පමණයි. ඒ සඳහා ජාත්‍යන්තර මූල්‍ය අරමුදල සමග කඩිනමින් සාකච්ඡා ආරම්භ කර විස්තීර්ණ ණය පහසුකමට අදාළ කටයුතු ඉදිරියට ගෙන යාමට අප අදහස් කරනවා.
Dissanayake dissolved parliament on Tuesday and is hoping to strengthen his hand in the 225-member House when a general election is held on November 14th. His coalition held just 3 seats in the parliament elected in August 2020. That's all in tonight's edition.